Hi there, hope you're well. Welcome to our July newsletter. More than halfway through the year now, so it's certainly flying. Hope you're staying safe. There's lots of COVID around. I got my winter booster last week, and if you haven't done that yet, I'd encourage you to think about doing the same. I'm going to have a chat today about some new legislation. So 3 pieces of legislation. The first 2 are in place now, and the third one is proposed at this stage. So we're going to have a chat about being able to make contributions to super through to age 75, using super to save for your first home, and some proposed changes to the Commonwealth Seniors healthcare card. So you probably, if you've been over the age of 65 and you've looked at contributing to super before, up until 1 July this year, there's been a work test in place. And what that previously meant was if you're over 65 and you wanted to put some extra money into super, you effectively had to be working to do that. Now, if you're aged between 67 and 75, that work test will not apply, and it will allow you to make personal contributions to super or to salary sacrifice to super. So if you are working, you could say to your employer, put some of that money into my superannuation. Importantly, if you're wanting to put money into superannuation and then claim a tax deduction for it, a work test still applies there. So you need to be working to be able to do that. The other change there is that you will have access to the bring forward rule as well. So what that allows with personal contributions to superannuation, you can generally do up to $110,000 each financial year, or you can bring forward 3 years worth of contributions and do $330,000 in a single year. And that rule will also apply for people aged up to 75. If you are turning 75, you need to be under the age of 75 at 1 July to make use, to be able to contribute to super, and you need to get that contribution into super within 28 days of you turning age 75. So other rules still apply to contributing to super, so there's limits around depending on how much you have inside superannuation. So if you are thinking about making use of this rule, we definitely encourage you to seek some advice before you do that. If we think that that this is going to apply to you and there's a benefit there, then we'll obviously give you advice around that. The next one we're going to have a chat about is called the First Home Super Saver Scheme. Now, this one's been in place for the last few years. Bit of background, it's basically designed to allow people who are wanting to buy their first home to use superannuation to help do that. And so what you've been able to do is you've been able to make extra contributions to super on top of what your employer is adding to superannuation, and then take that money out of superannuation when you are buying your first home. The amount that you've been able to take out of superannuation has been capped at $30,000 per person. So if you're a couple, you've been able to do up to $60,000 worth of savings there. From 1 July, that rule has increased to $50,000 per person. So allowing for a couple, up to $100,000 to be saved via superannuation. There is a maximum contribution amount that can be counted, which is $15,000 each year. So if you wanted to get to the full $50,000, you would need to spend 4 financial years doing that at a maximum of $15,000 each year. Now, savings around the First Home Super Saver Scheme. This is from CanStar, where they looked at someone saving $10,000 a year. The yellow here is if they were using just a regular savings account. The greenish blue color here is using a First Home Super Saver Scheme. So you can see over 5 years, someone could save, around $10,000 in taxes and potential increased earnings by using that First Home Super Saver Scheme to save for their first home. Again, if you're thinking about using this, we definitely recommend that you seek advice around that. And the third one we're going to have a chat about today, this is just a proposed change here. So it's not legislated yet, so we'll keep you up to speed on this. But the Commonwealth Seniors Healthcare Card is a card where people who are over age pension age, but are unable to receive the age pension, can get some things like cheaper prescriptions and things like that. And currently, if you're single, there's an income test that applies to this card. So assets aren't counted. If you're single, you need to have income of less than, you may as well say $58,000 a year. As a couple, you need income of less than $92,500 a year. And if you're a couple but you're separated due to illness, you need to have income of less than $115,500 per year. The proposal here is that for a single person, that's going to increase to $90,000, $144,000 for a couple, and $180,000 for a couple separated by illness. So that's a large increase, which is great. So that will allow more people to access that benefit. As I said, it is proposed at this stage. The government is supportive of this legislation, so hopefully it'll come through. The other thing to keep in mind is all of these income limits. There's some special rules around this. So if you're drawing money from a superannuation pension, the amount that you're drawing is not necessarily going to be the figure which is counted towards these income tests. There's a couple of different rules that apply, which just depends on when you started drawing money from super and when you started to receive the Commonwealth Seniors Healthcare Card. We can definitely help you to look at eligibility for that benefit. So if you'd like to explore that, just let us know. Obviously, once this rule comes into place, we'll be in contact with you if we think that that's going to be beneficial for you. So three new rules there. They're all good ones. Certainly, if you need some more information about anything that we've spoken about today, just let us know. Otherwise, stay safe, stay warm, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.